Hello, we're meeting with Wayne Driscoll of Ascend Hospice, and welcome for joining us today.
Hello.
Hi. Wayne, can you tell me what is your title at Ascend Hospice?
I am Senior Director of Business Development for the state of Pennsylvania for Ascend Hospice.
Okay, and what role do you play?
It is two roles actually that I play. One is the sales and business development aspect for the company, as well as community education liaison for the company.
Community Education Liaison. Could you explain that a little bit?
It is also my job to provide education and enlightenment in reference to the hospice Medicare benefit.
Okay, and is this something that you go out into the community? Are you talking to people in facilities, to family caregivers?
Well, pretty much everyone that you just mentioned. I am providing discussions, topics, and presentations on hospice to all community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, and businesses, anyone that is currently involved in delivering any type of service for the elderly population.
Okay, can you educate me? Can you tell me what is hospice?
Well, hospice is end-of-life care for people, patients who have a life-ending illness of 6 months, with a diagnosis of 6 months or less, should the disease run its natural course, certified by 2 physicians. In other words, no longer seeking life-sustaining treatment.
Okay, and what kinds of services does a person on hospice receive?
Services are provided by what we call an interdisciplinary team, an IDT team, which includes physician services, skilled nursing services, durable medical equipment services, pharmaceutical and medications are covered by it, home health aid services, dressing, bathing, feeding, companionship, spiritual guidance, dietary counseling, and bereavement counseling.
Okay, excellent. And then I'm also aware that there may be services like music therapy. What are some other services?
Well, so part of our philosophy is alternative holistic care approach, and that includes Reiki massage, hand massage, body massage, pet therapy, aromatherapy, scents and oils, anything that's going to promote relaxation and reduce agitation that may be associated with the disease.
Excellent. So, are people aware that Medicare covers hospice, and do they hop right on at that 6-month diagnosis?
Well, unfortunately, no. One of the reasons why I got involved with hospice and enlightenment, as I call it, enlightenment, is because that it is the most misunderstood and underutilized Medicare benefit that is out there.
Why do you think that is?
Well, in 2007, over 10 million people who may have been qualified for hospice services, only 1.3 million of that 10 million took advantage of it. So, there's quite a large population that are unaware that hospice services are available for them, that it is part of their Medicare benefit. And I just think that's because of the fact that our healthcare system is designed more to prolong life than it is to address end-of-care needs.
Okay, so do you think that there's a stigma associated with the discussion of the topic of hospice, receiving hospice services?
Very true. There is a stigma associated with it. Hospice, to many people, is a death sentence. If you go on hospice, you're immediately going to die, which is really not the case. Again, as I mentioned, all of the services that are involved with hospice, it is a support network. It is to provide end-of-life care, not just for the patient, but for the caregiver, for family, friends, anyone who's associated with the patient that has a hospice diagnosis is eligible to receive hospice care.
So does hospice care happen in the home? Does it happen in a facility? Does someone have to leave a facility and get hospice at home?
Well, there are hospice services can be delivered in wherever the home might be. And that home is skilled nursing facilities, long-term care facilities, independent living homes. I currently have a patient that travels by RV, recreational vehicle, from Florida to Pennsylvania. They've done this every year the last 2 years. It's parked in a campground, and we provide services in their RV in that campground. As long as we deem it a safe place for delivery of services, we will provide those services in that setting.
So wait, so the person's been on hospice for 2 years?
Absolutely, even though they're certified. So there is what we call criteria, hospice criteria. When a person first comes on a service, we have to go through an assessment process. It's called a benefit period. That first benefit period is 90 days. So after that first 90 days, we do a reassessment to make sure they're still meeting hospice criteria. And then it's every 60 days thereafter for each benefit period.
Wow. So how did you become involved with the hospice industry?
Well, I began my healthcare career 7 years ago. I started working with a physician's house called Practice, providing primary care physician services to a homebound geriatric population, folks that couldn't leave their home for whatever reason to get out to visit a doctor, so the doctor came to them. And what I found was that they were very frail, they were declining, they were the end of life. I became very aware of hospice because they were the people in need, and it was a lot of help and support for all of the reasons that are previously listed.
So I can tell that you have a lot of passion for this topic.
I truly believe that everyone needs to be well aware of what hospice is, again, because it is very misunderstood and underutilized, and it is a Medicare benefit, a right of every American, mandated by the federal government for a pain-free and dignified death. Who wouldn't want that?
Okay. Let me flip it around a little bit, because you've told me about the emotional side, the passionate side of hospice. I need to understand a little bit about the business side of hospice.
Well, part of what I do is Ascend Hospice is a for-profit company. Part of my job is not just to educate folks on what hospice is, but upon that education, guide and direct them that we are an outlet to provide those services, and we do it for a profit.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Now, how do you use technology in hospice?
Well, we are very, very technology oriented. We utilize Blackberries, iPads, tablets, for recording and transmission of clinical information to all of the team members and to all of the doctors and physicians and healthcare networks that are involved with the care of hospice services.
So, do all of the organizations that you interact with, are they all paperless? Are they all online?
Currently not right now. We are currently going, the healthcare industry is going through a transitional phase right now. My company's a little bit ahead of the curve with the new technologies that are available for healthcare delivery of information. But give it another 2 years and all organizations, as federally mandated, will be utilizing technology and paper-free.
Okay. Would you recommend someone enter the field of aging services management, gerontology? Do you see a need arising?
Oh, there is a phenomenal need. As we know, there's what we call the silver tsunami. A very large portion of the American population will be turning 65. There's going to be a need for someone to help to address whatever those healthcare needs might be, and we need educated and trained personnel to deliver those services. So yes, there is a very bright future for healthcare for the elderly in America.
Well, thank goodness for Davis School of Gerontology for training our newest professionals, and I really appreciate the time that you have spent to educate us on the topic of hospice. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Barbara. My pleasure.